Good morning, students. Welcome back to the revision video part 2. Now, in this video, I am going to go ahead with the revision of the poem Fire and Ice. I have already explained in the first video related to the explanation of the poem's tone and then central idea about the poet. Now, in this video, I am going to start with Fire and Ice explanation of the poem, means the detailed explanation stanza wise. Let's proceed ahead. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Stanza 1. Let's see the important word meanings. Desire means wish. Here, violent desire. Hold means to favor, and favor means to incline towards. Now let's deal with the explanation. The poet is analyzing about the end of the world. The poet provides and deals with two possible causes for the end of the world. He considers the age-old question of whether the world will end in fire or in ice. Both the reasons contrast each other and are equally opposite to each other. On one side of the debate are those people who are in favor of fire. They believe that it will be the heat and the passion, greed, lust, which will lead to the humanity, the world to end. Which will lead the humanity, the world to end. On the other side of the debate are those people who favor ice and feel it will be the ice that stands for cruelty, indifference, hatred, will freeze the world. Frost is providing a powerful statement on the subject of greed and jealousy. He is saying that the above anything else, even hatred, which is the trait of humanity, is most likely to lead the world to its demise. Now let's go with stanza 2. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. The important word meanings. Perish means to die and suffice means be sufficient. Now let's deal with the explanation of this stanza. The poet is very much sure of the destruction of the humanity. He first talks about the destruction caused by fire, and in case this fails, then ice will result into hatred that will end humanity one day. Frost goes on to discuss in a more understated manner the power of hate which is symbolized in the poem by ice. Hate, according to the speaker, is just as powerful as desire. While desire consumes quickly, hate is just as great and powerful. In fact, by ending the poem with the concept of hate, Frost directs the readers that hate can occur and linger in people's minds and hearts for years, sometimes even lifetimes. Hate is presented as having the ability to lead to the destruction of the world if it were to happen for a second time, again providing a powerful warning against this human misconception or misunderstanding. So here we end the stanza explanation. Now let's see the moral of the poem. The crystal clear message that the poet is trying to give here in this poem is that nothing in this world is eternal. The poet first concludes that the world must end in fire after considering his personal experience with desire and passion, the emotions of fire. But at the same time, ice or hatred can also bring total destruction. We should thus not forget this supreme reality and keep ourselves above all selfish matters. Only love, equality, mutual understanding, and sympathy for one and all can bring peace on the earth. So, this was the strong message that this poem conveys, children. Now, let's see the overall substance and the sum of the poem. The short symbolic poem outlines the familiar question about the fate of the world if it is more likely to be destroyed by fire or by ice. Fire symbolizes desire, that indicates all types of greed and lust, that focuses people on getting and possessing and acquiring. Ice symbolizes hatred and indifference. Here, frost presents the two of the darkest traits of humanity. The poet mentions that both fire and ice are probable ends of this world in the very first stanza of the poem. In the second stanza, he says that he knows of enough hate in the world to be sure that even destruction through ice would be sufficient to bring about the end of the world. Now, let's see the poetic devices given in this poem. Number 1, alliteration. This line in the poem, children, some say the world will end in fire. Here, some say. S is the consonant sound in the same line that is repeated. So it is alliteration. Same way, world, will. In the second line, I hold with those who favor fire. Again here, F is the consonant word that is repeated. So this is alliteration. Second symbolism, fire, a symbol of desire, lust and greed. Ice, a symbol of hate. Imagery. Again, you will get here imagery as where an object, person or situation has another meaning other than its literal meaning. Means where you can imagine something by your own, children, a visual images that you can visualize. Its literal meaning is something else, but when you read those words, you can imagine something else, children. You can visualize that beautiful scene before your eyes. So fire and ice elicits the feeling of heat and light, but also burning and pain. Ice elicits the feeling of coldness, but also hatred and indifference. Now, symbolism is the primary poetic device here. Now let's see with some of the important questions that may come from this chapter, from this poem, children. The people of the world think that the world will end in. The answer is fire and ice. Find the word from the passage which means same as endless greed. The answer is desire. The poet's opinion is that the world will end in. The correct answer is fire. Who is the poet of the poem? The answer is Robert Frost. Greed, passion and desire are signified by what? The answer is fire. The indifference, hatred and rigidity are signified by? The answer is ice. What is the rhyming scheme of the lines of the poem? That is A, B, A, A, B, C, B, C, B. The poet favors the opinion of the people who think the world will end in dash. The correct answer is fire. Hatred, coldness and rigidity are the symbol of? The correct answer is ice. The poet thinks of what? Hatred. Who knows enough of hate? That is poet. What is great for destruction? That is ice. Now here are some of the self-assessment questions, children, for you. If the dash had perished twice, I think I know enough of hate. What will be the word here? Which word in the poem means the same as to die? Find the poetic device used in the line, I hold with those who favor fire. Now, I would give before you the answers of the self-assessment questions from the poem Dust of Snow. Whose part of the day has been saved? None other than the poet's. Mention the poetic device used in the line has given my heart a change of mood. The answer is alliteration. What is the moral of the poem? The moral of the poem is, children, even small things sometimes in life can bring a vast change in someone's life. Which thing changed the poet's mood? It's none other than the dust of snow. So here I end the revision lesson. So here I end the revision lecture of both the poems, The Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you, children, and all the best for your exam.